Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Salmon Scott Selections here for Monday, December 12th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. Overall, a mediocre day, ended up splitting. Had an NFL play from a couple days ago that lost with the Buccaneers and 49ers under 37.5 and minus 111 on Bet Online. Unfortunately for us, the first half kind of exploded, mostly Brock Purdy and the Niners, who moved the ball at will against the Niners for the first 30 minutes. We knew Brady wouldn't move the ball at all against this defense, and they did not. But unfortunately, the game slowed down a little bit too late in the second half as the game landed 42, but did win in yesterday's video with the two-team 6.5-point teaser. We had the Chiefs -2 and the Panthers plus 10.5, and that paid out at minus 125 on Bet Online. So basically broke even, technically a losing day, and look for a winning day here on Monday. And for today's play today, going back to the NBA, look at a matchup between the Hawks and the Grizzlies taking place at around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this play, going to actually repeat the last play we did in the NBA, which is fading the Hawks in the first half. We're going to take the Grizzlies first half, -3.5 at minus 115 on PointsBet. Time recording of 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the Grizzlies first half in this matchup. First reason, look at the recent form of each team. Memphis definitely a much better form as the Grizzlies have won each of their last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Hawks have struggled lately as they have lost 6 of their last 9 games. And to go through the home road splits, Memphis has been one of the best home teams in the league, and Atlanta has been quite underwhelming on the road this season. The Grizzlies are 11-2 straight up, 9-3-1 ATS at home this season, while the Hawks are 5-8 straight up and 5-8 ATS on the road. And to go through the first half point differential, pretty big difference between these teams. The Grizzlies have a first half point differential of plus 2.9, which ranks 4th in the league. And at home, Memphis has been even better in the first half, as the Grizzlies have a first half point differential of plus 7.3 at home, which ranks 3rd in the league. Meanwhile, the Hawks have a first half point differential of plus 0.2, which ranks 18th. And on the road, the Hawks have a first half point differential of negative 1.6. So I do think that the Grizzlies in front of the home crowd should do what they always do, which is get off to a pretty hot start. Plus, Atlanta is still shorthanded, missing the likes of DeJounte Murray and John Collins, and they could be even more shorthanded for this game because of the spot. And it's a really, really bad scheduling spot. The Hawks played yesterday, so they're on the second half of back-to-back, and to make matters worse, that game went to overtime, which they ended up winning via buzzer beater. But the point is, Atlanta had to play 53 minutes yesterday at home, then had to get on a plane for about an hour and a half and travel to Memphis. I would not be surprised if Atlanta basically benched half the team in this spot. To go through the actual minute breakdown, Trae Young played 42 minutes last night. Bogdan Bogdanovic played 36 minutes last night. AJ Griffin played 40 minutes last night. And Clint Capella played 31 minutes last night. It would not surprise me if Atlanta benched potentially half of those guys. I don't personally think Trae's going to play. We know he was battling an illness last week. He was also battling a shoulder injury. I think they might give him the night off. Maybe Bogdanovic as well, who has only played about 5 games since returning from injury. It would not surprise me if Atlanta really put together a C or a D squad in this matchup against Memphis. Now, meanwhile, the Grizzlies might be a little bit shorthanded as John Morant and Steven Adams are questionable. However, it's a really good scheduling spot, so I'm not sure why either would miss. Unlike Atlanta, who played yesterday, the Grizzlies have not played since December 9th. So I understand you could argue in the NBA, you can pretty much never actually be sure who's going to play and who's not going to play. The fact that Ja and Adams are questionable, despite not having an actual game for the last 2-3 days, I think is pretty misleading. I'm assuming both of them are going to play, but truth is, even if they don't, we have seen Memphis play very well without Ja in the past, and Atlanta should be shorthanded as well. So I do think that you'll end up seeing Memphis take care of business either way. But if I had to guess, I'm assuming Ja's going to play since he had roughly 2 full days off before this game. But either way, to go through the really just the case once again, Memphis has been really good in the first half of the season, especially at home. They've been very good lately, and they're well rested, having not played since the 9th. Atlanta has not been good on the road this season. They have not been good in the first half. They might be missing Trae Young and Bogdanovic. They're also already missing DeJounte Murray and John Collins. I think it's a really bad spot, and I think Memphis laying 3.5 here in the first half definitely makes sense. You could take the full game at around 6.5, but I do want to continue backing the first half here because I do think that Memphis, who's been very good in the first half, has been a bit inconsistent in the second half of the season. So for that reason, I'm going to stick to the first 24 minutes. Play that once again here for Monday, December 12th is going to be on the Grizzlies first half, -3.5 and -115 on PointsBet. Bye, everyone.